What if the world's deadliest snakes killed you in silence? No hiss, no bite, no warning. These are 6 snakes that slip beneath your awareness. Until it's too late. One fact at the end will turn your blood cold. Ishala, watch every second. Number 10. The whisper fang. Deep in Borneo's endless jungle, locals tell of a snake so stealthy it's never seen, just felt. Small puncture marks, victims collapsing seconds later, and no one ever saw it strike. Biologists mocked the legend, until expedition scientist Marisol vanished inside her locked tent. Her colleagues found her next morning rifled through journals, terrified eyes, and a hood tied tight around her head. Her wound was the same, 2 pinpricks, wrists trembling with no signs of violence. 30's hook. How could something so small kill so fast? They examined footage from their tent camera, recorded darkness for 16 hours. Then, faintly, a movement barely there, a pale scale brushing her arm, and then stillness. Cliffhanger. What killed her? Here comes the twist. Get ready for a shocking twist. This will blow your mind. Her autopsy shocked everyone. It wasn't fang venom. It was secreted through her sweat pores, the snake's mucus absorbed into her skin. She died without a bite, without a hiss, just a whisper. Number 9. The chameleon viper. In Madagascar, a newly discovered viper blends so perfectly with leaves that even trained herpetologists miss it until it's too late. Dr. Amari's expedition underestimated it and paid the price. His helmet cam showed nothing until the final second, a straight blur across the lens. Then his boots remained. But he didn't. 30's hook. How can you be killed by what you can't see? Teams trekking days later found his papers laid out in a neat line, heading away from the trail. And his last drawing? A jagged fang embedded in the soil, no blood. Cliffhanger. But here's where it gets insane. Pay attention. I'm about to reveal a twist, and remember that. This snake's tail evolved to inject venom, tiny hollow spine dripping toxin into soft surfaces. Not a bite, but a venomous brush. Fast enough to kill before anyone knows they've touched it. Number 8. The creeper boa. In the Amazon, researchers reported a strange low-frequency hum before victims collapsed. No bite marks, just silence. Dr. Silva recorded the drone at 40 hertz, sickeningly deep. He felt it in his chest. That night, he went missing. 30's hook. What sound could kill? They found the boa in the swamp months later, coiled around a tree, throat pulsating, drone floating nearby with shredded audio logs. Number 7. The phantom vine serpent. In Cameroon's forest, villagers vanish along trails. They're found hours later, disoriented, tongues swollen, eyes glazed, no bite marks. Saliva-drenched clothing, and a single fang mark inside the tongue. 30's hook. Something biting from within. Rescuers trace the pattern. A snake that hangs like a vine strikes upward into the mouth, injecting venom directly. Cliffhanger. How does it stay invisible? Pay attention. I'm about to reveal a twist, and remember that. The serpent mimics vine segments by coating its body in sap mixed with leaf debris. It literally disguises itself until you swallow. Number 6. The nightshade copperhead. In Nevada's desert storms, a small copperhead hunts at night, but not to bite you. Breathe it in. Layers of sand inhale in storms hide its presence. Victims describe hallucinations, terror, then collapse. 30's hook? Is venom airborne? Scientists captured storm air. They found microscopic venom-coated scales floating like pollen. And those scales can embed in lungs, slowly releasing toxin until your heartbeat tanks. Cliffhanger. How long can you breathe with poison in your lungs? Get ready. This will destroy your breath. The scales lodge in alveoli, releasing bioactive compounds on every breath, lethal over days. By the time symptoms appear, it's too late. Number 5. The mirror fang. This story begins in India's Thar Desert, dry, shimmering, and still. But beneath a rock near the Jaisalmer ruins, herpetologists discovered a bizarre creature, a snake with skin so reflective it seemed invisible. They called it the mirror fang. Locals had long spoken of a spirit serpent that swallowed shadows. They weren't far off. One afternoon, a wildlife photographer named Neil spotted strange disturbances in his infrared camera movement with no visible source. Then, static. His body was found lying perfectly still in the sand, eyes open, lungs intact, no trauma, but pupils dilated to the max. 30's hook. How do you kill without touching? Researchers eventually found bite marks inside the 6. Number 4. The silence coil. In the remote Caucasus Mountains, shepherds told stories of animals falling dead mid-step, no hiss, no strike. Just a stillness that grew thicker. At first, no one believed them. Then, a field scientist named Dr. Zivkovich wore a noise meter in the field. The needle began to stip below 0 decibels, scientifically impossible. He dropped dead 3 minutes later. 30's hook. Can silence kill? Here's the horror they discovered. This snake produces ultra-infrasound vibrations that cancel sound waves around it, literally creating silence. In that void, the human brain malfunctions, triggering seizures, hallucinations, and sudden death. Ready for this? Hold on tight. Here comes a chilling twist. The silence coil wraps itself around tree roots or boulders and waits. You won't hear it. PPF, you won't see it. You'll just feel an overwhelming pressure, then blackness. You die thinking it was your own heartbeat that betrayed you, as T. Sao's. Number 2. The shadow boa. The forests of Sumatra hold secrets, but none as disturbing as the shadow boa. It has no color, no pattern, not even eyes. This snake is pitch black, absorbs 99% of light, and seems to vanish into the darkness. Witnesses say it moves like ink in water. Silent, fluid, unreal. PPB. Explorer Lara Eng went missing for 9 days in 2023. Her camera was recovered. In the footage, she whispers, "It's right in front of me. I can't see it, but it's watching me." Then her voice slows, then stops. 30's hook. How can something watch you without eyes? The twist will freeze your blood. Watch this twist unfold now. Don't blink. The shadow boa sees through heat shadows and attacks anything that's warmest. But here's the terror. It wraps its prey not to constrict, but to sasterase heats. Your body turns ice cold while you're still alive. It doesn't just silence your breath. It erases your existence. Number 1. The dream coil. This final one is not science. It's myth, nightmare, and tragedy combined. Across centuries, whispered in temples and among tribal gravekeepers, a snake has been feared not for its bite, but for what it takes away. The dream coil isn't found in rainforests or deserts. Its sass stays, she wall. Yes, this is real. Victims report the same thing. Nightmares of suffocation, coiling limbs, and being unable to scream. They wake up paralyzed. Then, they don't wake again. A 2019 study collected dream journals from 117 victims across 5 countries. They described the same serpents, long, colorless, hovering above their beds, not a hallucination. Their brains showed venom activities in the frontal cortex like they'd been bitten. 30's hook. Can a dream really kill? Here comes the final shock. 20 unbelievable final fact, the surprise. And now, the moment promised at the start. Here's a terrifying truth no one has heard before. One of these snakes was already declared extinct in 2001. But in 2024, a civilian drone in northern Myanmar caught a 7-second clip of something coiling beneath a dead horse. Experts analyzed the footage. Pieced off ek. It was the mirror fang. Prusses. It didn't go extinct. It adapted. Thai SC. And now, it's heading north. The longest, darkest, most suspenseful snake script ever written. If you want image prompts for each snake to perfectly match this script, I can deliver those next.